How's it? Today is Tuesday, September 23rd. Have some back squats with some overhead press today, and things were pretty good. I initially planned on doing 3 sets of 10 at 123 for the back squat, which would be 3 kilos up from last week's 120. But I ended up doing 125 because my last warm up at 100 felt really good. And I was like, okay, I'm just gonna see what works and what happens. And so I went up to 125, and it was not the worst thing in the world. I definitely feel like I'm not as crisp and as clean as I could be and as I would like to be, but all of that is gonna come with time. So 125 today was like I'm very proud of that. I think on that second set, my technique was actually really, really great. I was trying my best to more or less sit back with my hips, but also to kind of bend at my knees. That sounds really, really stupid now that I say that out loud, but I think a lot of times what I've been thinking about for squats lately is trying to get good hip tension, and I think that sitting back with my hips is important to get good hip tension. But I think sometimes I take that to a far extreme, and so when I'm able to kind of sit back first and then essentially descend at my knees, that is, I feel like when my positioning is the strongest. Um, I don't really recall what it felt like on this first set. I just know that after the first few reps, I got to the fifth rep and I was just like, oh, I'm going to do 5 more. And then I was kind of like, when I got to the end of the set, I was like, how am I going to do 2 more of these sets? So, yeah, I mean, it's, I'm just very happy that I was able to do them. Um, yeah, we'll look at what my second set looks like as far as technique goes. But it's really, really funny because when I'm looking at these reps, my overall quality of movement is pretty good. I think from a not from a technique standpoint, more from a like moving the weight standpoint. Whereas like, if say for example you are I don't know. Like I clearly can squat 125 for 3 sets of 10 today. But it feels like I'm giving the effort that it needs to squat that. And then the way that it looks when you watch these videos is that I'm kind of just able to grit and push through the weight independent of how my technique looks. Does that make sense? Like the RPE on these is probably like RPE 9. RPE really high. As in I can't do too many more after that. Um but the speed on it is just very, very, very good. Like look at that. The speed is pretty solid. Again, like technique is not the most crisp and it's not always the best, but I'm very happy with the way the weight is moving. I I think I articulated my thought pretty well. I don't know, it's pretty late right now. So, yeah. Um After my back squats, I did some overhead presses and I got back up to 60. So 60 for 5 sets of 5, and that is really heavy. I mean, in the past, I was able to overhead press 70, 175, so 80, 79, 80, 80-ish. And um, I can't believe that I was able to do that for one. But yeah, that that was a long time ago That was when I was lifting at 24 during COVID, I think, or might have been like slightly after COVID. Um, yeah, so that was 3, potentially 4 years ago at this point. And I feel like I'm stronger in a lot of other areas, but it would be really cool to be able to press 80 again. That is that is something along the lines of what I'm trying to do. Just gain absolute strength, mostly in the form of squats and pulls. But if I can do more of the overhead press, more weight, more frequently, I think that will only help me. I have had quite a bit of issues with a lot of injuries just over the years. Here's my first set. Had to throw on my belt here, but I have had quite a bit of injuries over the years. My elbow for sure has been hurt. I think honestly that was 10 years ago. That's crazy. In 2015, I think is when I initially hurt it. Um, but like aside from that, my upper back is quite taxed in a lot of positions. So having the stronger overhead press there would help that tremendously. My lower back, of course, is the biggest one that I'm dealing with right now. So sometimes that hurts when I press too. Um, yeah, I would like to get more absolute strength, and that is the main goal for what I'm doing right now and in the coming weeks. For my accessories today, I did split squats, some bicep curls just for the elbow health, and then some back extensions to finish everything off. There is actually a chance I'm gonna lift when I go home this weekend for my friend's wedding, because my coach, who's actually he's based in San Francisco, he is on Maui right now. So I'm gonna bring my stuff and we'll see if I can actually meet up with him. Nothing is set just yet, but yeah, maybe I'll lift on Saturday. So that's it for today. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. Shoots.